And now, it's time for Levack and Goz to answer the question, why?
Why? Tell me why?
Why?
It's the most baffling questions in sports of the week. It is why. Here, Goz with you. Levack is off today. Closer, Brian Mariano, filling in. And that means you, closer, are going to be having to answer these questions. The two rules of the game, why. You cannot answer why not. And you cannot answer I don't know. First question here. Doug Whaley, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, and the CEO and president of the Bills, Russ Brandon, are still running the Bills' day-to-day operations. Why?
They got all the power, man. They're the ones calling all the shots, and I feel like they enjoy having that power. You know, and we had this talk for it feels like every day for the past 2 weeks now, on the issues with Doug Whaley and whether he's made the right decisions or not. And I think now all of his outlets are gone. Rex Ryan's gone. The offensive coordinator gone. Now it's up to him. It's going to be up to him to make the right decisions now, or he might be out on, Interstate 90 with Rex gone.
Enjoying some Duff's wings and having some time off during the day. Yes, you're right. The scapegoats have run out in Buffalo. Russ Brandon and Doug Whaley have to look at themselves and think, well, I can't fire myself. And I look at Russ Brandon because he is the right-hand man with the Pagulas. He runs Pagula Sports Entertainment. He's also running the Sabres and the Rochester Americans. So is he having a big enough influence on the guys he's bringing in? The Doug Whaleys, the Rex Ryans, all the others, because he is a part of the hiring process. And if you're getting the hires wrong, is it really the coaches that aren't good enough, or the bosses not bringing in the right people to help out the Buffalo Bills? I don't understand it, and today's a perfect example of it. Anthony Lynn has to go out and address the media, and there's no sign of Doug Whaley, no sign of Russ Brandon, no sign of the Pagulas, and Anthony Lynn's up there with his arms thinking, I didn't even bench Tyrod Taylor. I wasn't even in the room when you guys decided.
It's almost systematic over there now, because could you imagine this happening, and then let's say Jerry Reese just throws Ben McAdoo up to the podium. Here you go. Yep, enjoy.
No, here's what it is. He'd fire Ben McAdoo. And then he would have a new assistant come up there.
Steve Spagnuolo would be up there.
And then he'd be like, oh, yeah, by the way, you're not starting Eli. Go.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, what do you mean we're not starting?
It's like going into a test, and you got to take your final, and you don't even know what the test is on, and the teachers have already made the test for you. You go, good luck. Hope you pass.
Yep. Best of luck to you.
Anthony Lynn will have a big test this weekend when he takes on the New York Jets. Not so much about the Jets themselves, but about if E.J. Manuel is going to be good enough, because he doesn't clearly, it seems, want to be having to start a quarterback that's not as good if he didn't have to, and that's why EJ hasn't played all year.
It just doesn't make sense to me at all. And if you're really cleaning house, we already know what EJ Manuel has done. Why isn't Cardell Jones showing up?
Well, let's stick with that quarterback theme here for number 2. Ryan Fitzpatrick, according to reports, is starting this week for the New York Jets because of the Bryce Petty injury, but not Christian Hackenberg. Closer, why?
This goes off of what we were just talking about. It's time to see what Christian Hackenberg is really about. Because if you go the entire season without seeing what he's done, I understand you hear the insiders and the people down at practice saying how he's doing and he's progressing and everything's great. But the fans aren't going to be able to see that. So we're just taking your word off of that, and we're not going to really be able to tell how good this kid is or is not. So without being able to see him, this is a huge mistake by the Jets. We need to see Christian Hackenberg and see what he's made of.
If we were talking 5 or 6 games and they thought Hackenberg wasn't ready, then okay, I'm with you here. That you don't want to play him. I'm talking the New York Jets. But it's one game. One game against a Bills team who's running out an interim quarterback and a backup quarterback. What's the worst thing that can happen to Christian Hackenberg?
You're actually playing a team who doesn't know who they're sending out there. Right. Just ask their coach.
You want to send out Ryan Fitzpatrick. Is it because, hey, you know what? Fitz had a good year for us last year. If he looks good in this game, maybe someone will give him a chance across the league? I'm baffled at this one.
Todd Bowles
might have. We're talking.
Todd Bowles might be in his fantasy Super Bowl. He's got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Possibly. Maybe they think it's college football where if Hackenberg plays, he'll run out a year of eligibility. They actually literally think he's getting redshirted. That could be a possibility. Number 3 here. Steve Smith, Sr., wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, is retiring again. Why?
Do you really want to come back and play for the Ravens again?
Hey, they were close to the playoffs.
It's true, but he's old, man. He's getting old. He's a little guy. He's taking a beating over the last...
You call Steve Smith a little guy. You do it to his face and watch what happens.
I would not. Guys, you need to find someone else to host with you the next 2 days. There's no doubt about it. He's a tough guy, trust me, but after so many years of getting his butt kicked, and he's probably going to be on the cusp of going into the Hall of Fame. I'm really not sure if he's good enough with his numbers to get into the Hall of Fame, but I think it's time. His progression is slowly going down in the last few years. Joe Flacco just seems to be the only option there, but I can't see him really excelling at all after this year. I think it's a good move that he's retiring.
I'm with you too. I mean, don't, and I'm doing it selfishly. Don't do this again to us. I don't want to do with if you're going to retire. Are you not going to retire?
Don't be Brett Favre.
No, don't Brett Favre us. Could Steve Smith maybe have another impactful year in the league? Maybe. I don't want him to also walk out there and play for like the Jaguars and just be the fourth wide receiver and be out there getting a paycheck. Leave with a nice little legacy, Steve Smith.
Especially for the guy that he is and the guy that the way he's handled his career, he deserves to go out that way. And I agree, if he was going to, and I hate to say this, guys. I hate it. Could you imagine he comes back on the Patriots? Could you imagine? And that would be a good fit for him. But he would probably have one more year left if it was for the Patriots, but nobody else.
The next one here, you bring up the Patriots. The New England Patriots want a first and a fourth rounder, according to reports, for Jimmy Garoppolo. Why?
Because he was the best quarterback in New England for a month. He's definitely deserving of a first and fourth round pick, right, guys? I mean, why not? Because look at the quarterback market out there right now. Who else is up there? Tony Romo, 37, could get hurt if he coughs.
He played like less than a handful of games. Closer.
That's fine.
What are the Patriots talking about? But you know what? This is business 101. If there's someone
supply and demand, baby.
If someone's willing to pay the price, they're going to get that. We watched Brock Osweiler get overpaid. I've said it here on the station before. If you want to overpay for quarterback. But Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't shown me enough. He had a 4-touchdown game and got hurt. Brock Osweiler, Kevin Cobb, Matt Flynn, these small sample size guys we all of a sudden think are the greatest quarterbacks ever. Let them play a year before you're going to give up that type of stuff.
But you're telling me that Cleveland wouldn't give that up to go and get a Jimmy Garoppolo?
I hope not. I really hope not.
It's the Browns. Of course they would.
They could have a ton more picks. I'm going to move on here to college football. Maybe they have an eye on the college football playoff. The Alabama Crimson Tide are a 14-point favorite over the Washington Huskies. Why?
Because they're no doubt the best team in the country, guys. I'm surprised it's actually as low as it is. I was expecting this to be 17, maybe even 20. Alabama is no doubt the number one team. I don't think... The only chance I think they lose the national championship is if Ohio State beats Clemson and meets them in the national championship game, because I think Ohio State, talent-wise, can go up against Alabama. But honestly, I think this is their national championship to lose, in my opinion.
Do you think, were you about to say Urban Meyer has Nick Saban's number? Were you about to say that? Because there could be the argument out there.
I definitely think he does. Recently, there's no doubt.
14 points is a lot, though, in a college football playoff game for a team that won the Pac-12, had one loss to USC that's playing in the Rose Bowl. Is it just man-on-man? Are we dealing with the Notre Dame situation from years ago where the offensive and defensive lines are just so much better for Alabama that Washington's going to have problems even moving the football?
I just think that a lot of the people in Vegas realize that I don't think Washington has faced a defense like Alabama's going to throw at them all year. So if you assume that Washington can, let's say they score 2 touchdowns, and you're going to tell me Alabama can't score 4 against Washington after the SEC defenses they've faced, I think no doubt they will cover this 14 points.
Last question for you here and why. The results have come out. The highest rated show on Netflix in the year 2016, the most watched, was Stranger Things. Why?
I don't know.
No, you can't answer that way.
No,
Nice try.
I tried.
Good try.
Interesting. I've never gotten into Stranger Things, guys. Have you watched it before?
I feel like I should. I want to get on the bandwagon.
I feel like now that I need to stop all of the binge watching I have on Netflix and now start watching this.
The other shows in the mix, Making a Murderer, I watched. Wasn't as good as people
Didn't watch
thought
that
it was.
either.
House of Cards, amazing.
Really good. Yep. There's no doubt House of Cards got to be up there.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It's a comedy.
My girlfriend loves that. I'm not into it. I've never watched an episode, but she apparently
She's
loves it.
from The
It's
Office,
great.
and I'm forgetting her name. It's Elle something or Ellie. I'm forgetting her name. Ellie Kemper. Ellie Kemper's in that.
Yep.
Stranger Things, man. It has a lot of hype. It's got like the 80s nostalgia feel to it. I think there's like bicycles and aliens involved. Maybe me and you have to get with the times now and watch Stranger Things.
We hanging out after the show watching some Stranger Things? No?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do it.
What do you watch on Netflix now? Anything good?
Oh, the last thing I watched on Netflix was terrible. It was the Barack Obama life movie on Netflix. It had an actor. It was terrible. I couldn't even finish it. It was horrible.
You'll never get that hour
Nothing
back.
to do with political views at all, because I'm into all that stuff. Like, again, if you don't know this, I have a political science degree.
Oh, do you?
That makes me important and smart.
From the Harvard at Hobart.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, of course.
What do you call the Harvard of Geneva, Hobart College?
On your way to your doctorate. It's okay.
Right. No, the thing about this is that Stranger Things, man, I didn't think it was going to be something I would really enjoy, but maybe it will. You know what I was actually... Oh, no, I have a rule for you about this.
Okay.
Breaking Bad. All right?
Mm-hmm.
There are certain shows that you may have not watched when they were live. Mm-hmm. If the show ends and you started on Netflix, is that okay? Like, can you...
Sure.
Hang on. The ship's already left sail.
So?
And it's docked and it's over. We're not getting back on the ship. Are you? So you're one of these people that says it's fine if the show ended. You can go back and watch it later on.
The amount of people that I've referred to, like Blue Mountain State on Netflix, that's been off the air for years now, but it's still a great show and it's 3 seasons. I recommend if you haven't watched it, you should go out and watch it on Netflix. Hilarious. And I'm just starting, even though it's still running, is Quantico. Just started it the other day.
No, Quantico's on the air still.
So your issue is if I said to you, hey, gosh, you need to go watch
Hey,
Blue
how
Mountain
about
State
Seinfeld, huh? You hear about Seinfeld?
You ever heard of them?
Man, you see the show called Friends?
How about The West Wing? You ever watched The West Wing before?
Like, doing things like that makes me feel so old. I don't want to do that. The only show I've ever done that before was with Freaks and Geeks. Jason Segel, Linda Cardinelli, James Franco, all of them. That's the only show I ever did that. I'm not one of those people. If it's going on now, I want to be with it. I feel so old if I catch on like years later.
So, but you don't feel weird about, even with shows like House of Cards where they only come out on a season-by-season basis.
That's fine, because it's still going on.
Yeah, but even like, so I'm watching Quantico, and I'm catching up on this season. There's one airing right now. You feel weird by saying, okay, I can't watch ABC now because I might see some promo that I wouldn't know for the next season coming up.
Yo, that is intense. That is some serious thought that goes into that. But I can't deny I've done that.
That's what you've done before?
No, I did that with Dexter.
Oh,
I wouldn't watch Showtime, and I was so upset with myself because I went to the Showtime website to like fix my subscription or whatever, and they had a promo for Dexter about the next season, and I like started yelling by myself at my computer about what had happened. Yeah.